Hey everybody, it's Rachel here, live at the doll shop. We have a really fun thing happening today. So I posted these bears, these little 3-inch pre-war Steiff bears a couple minutes ago. And I've received a ton of comments. So we are actually going to be chatting with Rebekah Kaufman, who knows everything there is to know about Steiff bears, and we are going to bring her on camera, and she's going to chat with us. So we are going to her, and she's going to chat with us and tell us more information about these bears and show us some examples of the ones she has. So it's going to be really exciting, and it'll be really fun. So she's actually being added on right now, and I hope that she's getting the invitation, but it gives us, this is kind of the awkward one. Here she is. Hi, Rebekah.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. You might need to pull your phone back a little bit. So, Rebekah, you are here with everyone, all of our friends, and all of our friends out there. So, Rebekah is actually tuning in live from across the country. Rebekah, tell us where you're tuning in from.
I'm tuning
Steiff
in
Central.
I'm Steiff Central. It's very humid today, and my hair and makeup person took the day off. So we're all natural here.
Well, you look great.
But I saw the two little bears, jumped out of my chair, and was dying to speak with you about them.
Here they are. So for those that maybe didn't see the picture we posted, here's the two little Steiff bears. I knew they were wonderful. I knew they were early. They had their early button, but I actually texted you and I was like, Rebekah, help.
Well, what I love, there's like a million things to love about these. First of all, they're the smallest size that Steiff made in the fully jointed bears. And what I love about them, these are from about the 1920s because of their buttons. They have the long trailing F buttons and the shape of their bodies. And I'll give you a couple of examples of other bears of the same size and the shape of their bodies and how you can use that to date them. But what I love about these little bears is that imagine that they were probably given to a child or children, maybe this was a pair of children, and they're the most perfect size to hold in your hand on the first day of school. Or you put them in your backpack, or you put them on your night table. And so this is what these were designed for, is little companions for children. So the fact that you found this wonderful pair, which you found them together, so I'm guessing that they've been together for a very long time. They are the same age and stage. I think that they probably were owned by a child and kept as precious toys or companions. They're delightful.
So I shouldn't split them up. I can't.
No, you can't.
They must stay together. Yeah.
The Steiff police will come and get you for that.
Okay.
They're just wonderful together, and I know that they don't really have feelings, but I feel for them and want them to stay together.
Right. No, they will stay together.
What you generally see with little bears like this is that they have little or no hair left, especially around the areas where you would hold them and grasp them in your hand. Their bellies and their such often are quite bare because that's where someone would hold them in their hands and love them. But what you see here, these are fully jointed bears. They are from the 20s with their buttons, maybe the early 30s. And what you're going to see about Steiff bears, the little ones especially, and I have a couple of examples to share with you, is that over time, yes, they stayed at 10 centimeters, which is a little, 2.5, 3 inches. But over time, the proportions changed to reflect how society liked and found teddy bears endearing. So what I'm going to show you now, or I'm going to try to.
And I believe you can turn, I think you can turn your camera around too, I think.
Well, these two little friends did not start out life together, but they are life partners now. The little white one and a little one that's almost like, it looks like a little Winnie the Pooh. These are from the same time period. They have the long trailing F buttons, and see their faces and their limbs. They are sort of a little bit longer and thinner. You see that nice face there?
Yeah, they are longer and thinner.
Yeah, they're longer and thinner. And then when Steiff started making toys again in the early 1950s, late 1940s, after World War II, here's a perfect example of what one looked like. And you see he looks very different. A little chubbier.
Very different.
A little chubbier. This one you can see his chest tag, which is imprinted in red, and his little ear tag and button. So this guy is from about 1948 through about 1952. And very common, you will see these little guys came out in the mid 50s to the mid 60s, and they're definitely a little. You see, they're really chubby. And so one of the
Oh,
things
I
that we
just
do is
love how
because
chubby
these
they
little
are.
and one of the things that we do is to identify and value things is really look at the proportions. Here's a little white guy, and you can see I'm going to hold up this white guy and the early white guy, and you can see really how different they evolved over time. It's the same basic bear design, but you see the later ones are just rounder and pointier and chubbier and such. And the one from that's the transitional bear is right in the middle. So these bears were made for a really long time, and starting at the turn of last century until basically the bendy ones probably to the 60s, or the ones that were fully jointed until probably the late 60s or the early 70s. But the proportions change, and if they don't have ear buttons, that's how you can date them roughly by just charting how chubby they are. And over time they go from long and thin to short and chubby with those proportions. So that's why I was so excited to see these. They are relatively long and thin. They're not as long and thin as the earliest ones, but they are charming, and I think that any Steiff collector would love them. But I also think that if you have dolls from that period, they would be a phenomenal companion to put in the arms or in the hand of a doll from the 1920 era. It would be a perfect fit.
Yeah, because dolls and bears are what?
Best friends as always.
They're the best of friends. For those that are just tuning in, I'm here with Steiff expert, Steiffgal, Rebekah Kaufman, and she is giving us information on the bears that I posted, and then she has shared some examples of bears that she has. Our video is going to live forever, so you guys can go back if you're just tuning on and seeing this. But Rebekah is always so willing to share her information and knowledge, and of course, she has a shop on Ruby Lane where you can buy wonderful bears too. But Rebekah, you and I are going to be seeing each other in a couple weeks. What's going to be happening?
We have something so fabulous. You should mark your calendars for it. I'm bringing a special guest along with me to my booth in Baltimore. In Baltimore, I'm afraid that Rachel will have yet another new boyfriend when she sees who I'm bringing. A life-size chimpanzee who is so looking forward to meeting the attendees, not only at the show, but meeting our friends on Ruby Lane. This guy is so fabulous for selfies. You will not be able to control yourself. You and I are going to talk about Steiff studio pieces, and we're going to give a guided tour of this guy from head to toe, who's probably the size of the two of us put together, and then twice again. He's just a huge guy.
It's going to be so much fun. We are literally going to go bananas.
We are going to go.
With your Steiff Jocko.
We are going to go.
I've seen him, everybody, and he is, he is 6 feet tall.
There's you have to see him. You have to see him. Yeah. And he's looking forward to, he will have hair and makeup on.
That's at the end of this month. So very, very busy. And you're going to have a booth, and I'm going to have a booth. And it's just going to be such a great show. And then we are going to be live in London.
We're going to go live in London, and we're going to talk about bears in London.
Yes.
Well,
it's going to be so much fun.
I'm traveling with Mrs. Schwartz of FAO Schwartz. We're going to talk about the history of the toy industry and FAO Schwartz in America from about the 1860s onward. And it's very exciting that FAO Schwartz again is opening up for the holiday season in New York. So we will talk a little bit about our conversations with that FAO Schwartz team as well, and what we're doing to bring legacy into the store as well as wonderful product.
Wonderful. That's going to be so exciting. I cannot wait. We have so much stuff happening in the next 60 days. So for all of our teddy bear collectors that tuned in, if you missed the live feed, please share it so other people can see. And again, these are pre-war, what do we call 1920s?
Yep.
1920s. And Rebekah, is white a rarer color than this beige, like yellowish beige?
Yes, white is probably what collectors have the most love for. They can be a little bit rare. For some reason, I have found that white bears, for some reason, lose their mohair a little bit faster and quicker than other bears. So, a white one is probably in good condition. Would probably have more financial and collectors' interest. But I have to tell you, what you have in your hands, I can probably name about 50 collectors who would like to come and take them out of your hands.
Well, thank you. They were such a fun thing. I was looking through a box of like literally kind of like junk, and then I'm like, what the heck is that? They were in a Ziploc baggie. So you just never know what you're going to find.
Rachel,
but speaking of restoration, you just did a fabulous article for Ruby Lane on the Ruby Lane's blog on how to clean your own Steiff.
Yes. Yeah.
And plush animals. So everybody check that out. It's under the bear section.
And Rachel, what I'll do is I'll take a picture of the bears that I showed on the video, so you can post near this if people want to see, just for comparison, the scale.
Comments. That would be great. That would be fun. Well, guys, this is the first time I've done a split screen with Rebekah, and I think it was a lot of fun. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Rebekah, thank you I kind of blindsided her because she texted me about the bears, and I was like, well, can we go live in 5 minutes and talk about them? And here she is. So, Rebekah, thank you. Bye.